Hi. I just did a video right now, but I want it to be more clear and to be more direct and more helpful in explaining myself. Yeah. So I this is this is a re-recording of a video response to Marcus Modison's Create Discord. And in this video, he talked about how some of his friends and some people in his life has called him arrogant, or has called him as being hard and within his expression and being disrespectful. And I know for a fact that within me, like, people can call you these things, but it's simply not true. Because what they are actually perceiving is their own reactions within themselves, and they want to blame you. For instance, a few days ago, maybe 5 days ago, we were sitting down at the table having dinner, me and my family, my brother and sister, my mom was there. And my mom said something about how my brother shouldn't, how she enjoys eating with her hands, the quesadillas, and how my brother told her how, it used to bother me about eating eggs with my hands. And this was in response to my mom saying, I love eating food with my hands. So then I pointed out how kind of, I guess you could say, hypocritical of her that it was, and how she tries to raise her sons, her family, in a certain way, or do what's best for them, but when she lives a certain way, she doesn't do the same. And also brought up the point of how she used to tell me many times how she doesn't want to be like her mom. Her mom was always constrictive of her, forcing her to be things and all the high class life and all this stuff. And then she started like defending herself, like, it was what's best for you guys. It's good for you guys to learn this. And then I talked about how it makes sense if you learn that and you do that within the high class environment, but within the home it doesn't make sense to do that because you're at home. So that doesn't make sense. As you can see, like, the reasons why. It's good when you need to know. It's good, but when you're at home in everyday life, then you can act how you choose. And I do see how it's within justification that every human, it's like her belief, along with everyone else's acceptance and allowance, that all we are habits. We can't control ourselves. That, if we, in order to be someone, then you always have to be that someone. You always have to have that habit. It's really weird because you can see clearly people have habits in reactions to environments. So that's why I said before that it makes sense, even from a dog training kind of standing point, like you train a person to be a certain way in a certain environment. So even her logic doesn't really apply practically. And if I train my kids to eat well at home, they can eat well in a high-class environment. No, I mean, not how the brain works. It works according to environments. When you're in a high-class environment, eating dinner at a fancy restaurant, you're gonna eat well and apply what you know. I mean, and it's based on the environment that you're in. It's gonna activate memories. I'm not sure exactly what followed next. I remember she called me angry and saying that, you keep acting this way, you're not going to have any friends. And then I remember the moment she said that, I immediately pointed out and just said, immediately in the moment, that, you're just saying that to insult me. Look at yourself, look at your words. It has nothing to do with the topic we're talking about. It's only... And I remember the topic was about her, what her doing, and then she's trying to bring it back to me and then try to forget what I said by insulting me, by trying to create reactions within me. which is funny enough, she believes that I'm having a reaction, and therefore she has to say something in order to create a reaction within me, which I did not accept in all. So I didn't have any reactions in those moments. I kept pushing forward, and so it continued for a bit, and and I tried to explain to her, as I stood within myself, and explaining to her like my own standing, that that I had told her that I recently realized something within myself that I had, with the help of Destiny videos. Primarily this one video with Sinette. How I always, my whole entire life, shaped and formed who I am, my words, how I act, every part of me, to please other people, to fit with other people, what they want of me or what they expected of me, so that who I am was just based on pleasing other people. So, and she immediately, when I told her that, she was like, "Oh, come on, like, just don't do that." But I was simply explaining to her. I said the words, "Recently I had realized this," and as if she didn't hear my own words, I wasn't really reacting. I wasn't actually, being emotional or having any feelings of wonderment in any way. I was simply telling her that. And then she had this reaction, But I told her that to help her realize that, I guess the power of reaction is the power of possession. So, in the moment she said even how, like, "Oh, you're being so angry and explaining this way," because when she said that, it was like, "Oh, I'm simply explaining to," I told her this, when she said, like, "Oh, no, come on. I said, so I explained, like, I'm simply expressing something that I'd realized, and I'm already over it, I'm already changing to it. I don't allow myself to do that anymore." And then she said, I'm not sure if this was exactly at that point, but then she said again, like, oh, stop, we're getting angry again, or you're getting angry again. And then that's when I explained the point of how it's not really anger, it's passion, you could say, because I'm not angry at all. I wasn't angry in that moment. It was just, I was bringing that whole entire realization, and I've lived my whole entire life for other people. And then that realization comes out as passion, because you want the other person to understand, so you want to explain as clearly as possible, so you're bringing the whole importance of the realization here, to really just to bring it here, so that maybe perhaps they can realize the same realization. Probably, yeah. So I was just reliving. Yeah, and within the point of explaining with reliving, she said, "Oh, you have to forgive that. Oh, you have to forgive this anger you're having. You have to, stop this." Yeah, but I was simply explaining to her that I'd already overcome that point, and I was simply bringing it here to remember it, and then within that, I am reliving the moment of the realization. When I saw that clearly, that I had lived my whole entire life like that. And that's like an amazing realization. I had lived my whole entire life for that. So, I hope this helps many people, this video, and sticking to yourself, and sticking to who you are, and standing within your own self-honesty, your own self-trust. That you know for sure in the moment you're not possessed, and you're simply living and you're acting in the moment, doing what's best for all. Immediately, no stop. Until we all stop.